Hey there, Chubs listeners! It's time for another fun, fabulous Chubs Gone Wild holiday edition. And guess who we have with us? The Queen! Oh, yes, there's also the Queen in the background behind me on the video if you're watching. But I am talking about Tom. Tom is our Queen. Oh, oh. And nothing. All right. Well, this is episode Chubs Gone Wild, episode 420. Is it? Is it?
Is it what?
It's 420. Are you 420'd?
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, and there we go. A little proof. Good. Well, it is November 29th, 2021. It's almost the month of Christmas. La, 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 la. It's currently 66 degrees and partly cloudy outside the Chubs Gone Wild remote studios, where it is Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, that's the music they play.
Dreidel, 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 I made it out okay.
Even worse. Oh my God.
I love that song. I sing it all the time. I actually do sing it all the time. It's a great song. Anyway, it's also 22 days till winter solstice, which is also known as Yule. It's 27 till Christmas, 28 till Kwanzaa, 34 until New Year's Eve, 337 until Halloween, when it all starts again. However, in the meantime, it's also 41 days, just 41 days, until the January 9th premiere of season 2 of Call Me Cat. Yay! I'm so excited! Okay. Well, in this day in history, there was a lot that went on, including in 1947, despite strong Arabic opposition, the United Nations voted for the partition of Palestine and the creation of an independent Jewish state, which for the Jewish people is like a great celebration because today is the first day of Hanukkah. So, well, yesterday was the first day of Hanukkah. But anyway, yeah, so that's 1947, people. Yeah. 2001, George Harrison, lead guitarist from the Beatles, died. In 2011, Dr. Conrad Murray receives 4-year sentence for the death of Michael Jackson. Now, when you heard Michael Jackson died, was it a big startling thing for you?
Well, I mean, it was surprising considering how young he was.
Yeah.
But if you remember that day earlier, we'd already lost Farrah Fawcett.
Oh my gosh, that was the same day. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So
yeah. It was quite a shock to me as well. Yeah, but I don't know. Part of me kind of wondered if maybe anyway. 1929, explorer Richard Byrd flies over the South Pole. 69, Robert McNamara resigns as the Secretary of Defense. In 1963, geez, that was a long time ago now. Just saying. LBJ forms a commission to investigate the Kennedy assassination, which is one of the things that every time Jump Show has to have an episode of. 1981, actress Natalie Wood drowns. I thought it was way before that. I didn't realize it was 81.
Well, I'm surprised it was this time of year.
Okay. 1952, President Eisenhower goes to Korea. And in 1942, coffee rationing begins, of course, World War II. And in 1864, the Sand Creek Massacre happened, which was a peaceful band of Southern Cheyenne and Arapaho Native Americans were massacred by Colonel John Shivington, whatever, Colorado volunteers at Sand Creek, Colorado. So just a little reminder that shit was going down. Stupid ass white people. Anyway, moving on from that. That's a little day of history, but now let's find out what we celebrate today. Today, the customer is wrong. I wonder if they actually are able to get away with that. I don't know. But it's also Cyber Monday. So you go out and you get your cybers. And Electronic Greeting Card Day. International Day of Solidarity with the Palestine people. There you go. Let's tie it in. National Chocolates Day. You having any chocolate today?
No.
Damn it. National Lemon Cream Pie. Any lemon cream pie?
Nope.
Damn it. Also, Square Dance Day, the start of Hanukkah, which, well, technically last night at sundown.
It's still Hanukkah, the first day of Hanukkah until the sundown tonight. So
true, absolutely true. Okay. Throw out your leftovers day, which I've been for 3 days now throwing out leftovers. So yeah.
I think they're referring to dinner.
Oh.
Not the shit in your house.
Okay, well, first off, I don't have shit in my house, dear. Second off, that's what I was talking about too.
Okay.
Cleaning out the fridge. I don't know why you can be so mean. Oh, but the affirmation, today's affirmation, let's center, let's get back to the good energy. I look forward with joyous anticipation to what this day brings. I'm joyous. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like special podcasts, videos, books, and more. And we want to take a moment to thank our current patrons: Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Star Sage from Univaz, Eric, Sean, Brother Sinatus, Phoenix Dave, and Moose P. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over at patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. All right. Well, we've got some birthdays coming up. We've had lots of birthdays going on lately. Lots of people's parents getting in the mood. Today's birthdays, we want to send love out to Chris, Frank, and another Chris. And then we want to send out some birthday love coming up to Tim, Devin, Gina, Moses, Karen, Jeffrey, Noelle. She was our little devil in one of our plays. Also, that Jackie Schultz, remember? I mean, just absolutely theatrical powerhouse in Sacramento. Robbie, Bousset, Mark, Daniel, Deshaun, Felicity, Trey, John, Matt, and the Taylor co-pilots. Now, Taylor from Pod is my co-pilot. His birthday is coming up here on December 5th. Yay! Wonder what he will be doing this year. Let's find out. On Facebook, feedback. We've got a couple things in our feedback here, including Sean wrote in and said, "That's one big turkey." I think he's talking about my background in the video, but I'm not sure.
I think we know what he's talking about.
Don't be mean to yourself. So Timothy wrote in and said, "I watched a few holiday movies over Thanksgiving and thought I'd share. So these I thought were good as Christmas rom-coms can be, and maybe worth your time if there's a lull in your schedule. The first one is Holiday on Netflix. Now, I actually have watched this one. Do you remember it? It's the one where the girl and the guy, they don't want dates, so they end up being each other's dates, so they can be a platonic date, and then they end up, of course, falling in love at the end of the movie.
Just a minute. It's coming up. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Ugh. Okay, go on. Keep going.
Anyway, I did see that last year, and it's actually one of the better ones. It was pretty good. So, and then we have the 12 Dates of Christmas now on Prime. Now, he's not talking about the HBO series where it's like the 12 Dates of Christmas reality dating show or whatever. But this one I haven't seen, but it looked like it might be kind of interesting. And also he says remember it's 420 folks, and that's what happens on 420. So also the 12 Days of Christmas on Prime, the 2 dates of Christmas, the Christmas setup gay rom-com holiday Hallmark Prime. Actually, I think is that may be the one with Fran Drescher, and I actually own that. It's only like $4, so I will be watching that. And then finally, he says the new Doogie Howser on Disney Plus is good. Have you watched that yet?
Yeah,
And what'd you think?
it was good.
Okay. All right. Well, and then we have some Chub hugs that we want to send out. And I want to send Chub hugs out to Christopher, who I think has been a long time listener and had a heart attack, but he is doing better. And some friends of his have been posting about him doing better. And then another Christopher R., who just started listening to us, found our podcast, and want to send him a shout out. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the Chub hug team. How about you, sir?
Mine goes out to a friend of mine and yours that died on Friday. Mr. Stephen Sondheim.
Oh God, yes.
And I just want to share this story. Back when I was writing plays full time, I remember I was on a website. I don't know what the fuck the website was, but it had a list of gay and lesbian playwrights, and of course Stephen Sondheim is on the list, and I was the next one on the list.
Oh, that's so cool.
So my moment with Stephen Sondheim was, but I like I said, it wasn't like a local list. I don't know where the list came from, but I was on the list, and it was because I'm like going, oh, of course, Stephen Sondheim, and then scrolling down. Oh, what?
Yeah.
What? So
awesome.
It's weird because Christine Lottie kind of put it the way I think a lot of us in theater, especially our entertainment, feel. And she said, I've never done one of your shows. I've never met you, but yet you know me so well. And yeah, it was lovely. Yesterday, Lin-Manuel Miranda and a few others, well, quite a few others of the New York scene went out to Times Square and sang Sunday.
Oh, that's really cool.
And there was like hundreds of people. And it's I posted it on my Facebook page, but it's it was odd how affected I felt. And of course, I just saw Tick, Tick, Boom, which has Sondheim as a character in it. And one of the numbers is called Sunday, where Jonathan Larson did a salute to Sondheim because Jonathan Larson worked at a like a diner.
Yeah.
So Sunday brunch was the big deal. So the number is called Sunday, but it's Sunday brunch, and it's all these people complaining, and everybody in there is a major Broadway star, Bebe Neuwirth and Chita Rivera, and I mean the list just goes on and on from there. It's you're going, oh my God, and they all were there to sing this song, which is kind of a salute to Sondheim. So anyway, it was just a odd kind of weekend. I can't get songs out of my head. So yeah.
I mean, you knew it was coming at some point, but it's always a blow.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he just was one of those people that even if you didn't really know who he was, he still affected your life.
Well, yeah, it's Sean was talking to people at work, his coworkers, and none of them knew who he was. And some knew, I mean, they knew like West Side Story,
Hmm.
and Into the Woods, because they were big movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just have no idea how he affected so much.
Yeah, I mean, so much of our pop culture in little sayings and shit that we throw out. I mean, how many times does, have you heard somebody say, "Stay away from him, he kill your brother," that type of, the West Side reference and things like that. I mean, there's just so much of that.
Well, and Company just opened up on Broadway a couple weeks ago,
Mm,
and he had gone to see the show. So a lot of the people were going, "Oh my God, I was just at Company, last week, and he was there, and
yeah,
he looked fine." So it was, even more of a shock. But so actually, the Chub Hugs don't go out to Stephen Sondheim, but they go out to the people who loved him.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Yeah. All right, thank you for that. And now, well, we don't really have any real current topics to talk about today. But is there anything other else that you wanted to add, to talk about? Anything here?
Um,
Just a little love. I mean, I can pull up a couple topics if you
well,
want.
have you gotten your booster? You got your booster, right?
Yeah, yeah. On the same day that I got my flu shot.
Okay. Yeah, I got my booster on the same day that I got my second shingles shot.
Oh, I got my first shingle shot the same day.
Oh, wait, as what? You got all three?
Yeah.
They gave you three at a time?
Yep.
That's
They were
shocking.
they were totally fine with it.
Now remember, you need your second shingles shot
Hmm.
in 2 months.
Okay. So I am not going to take the chance that they will, like, remind me. So
They
I'm just
won't.
gonna,
They didn't even tell me I needed a second one. I had gone into my doctor and she said, "Oh, you're at an age where you probably should take the shingle shot." And I go, "Oh, I got it last year." And she goes, "Well, did you get the second shot?" And I go, "No one ever told me I needed one."
yeah,
And she goes,
actually, same thing here. They
two
didn't
to
tell
six
me that I
months.
needed a second one, but I
Yeah.
knew. So yeah, I better put that on my agenda to remind them. Shingles shots. Sorry, but that's something that, yeah, I don't want to take a chance that they're gonna call me.
Well, have you seen the new? No, you don't watch commercials. There's a new shingles commercial, and it's a husband and wife, and they're sitting on the couch, and they're going, you should. They were talking about, I guess, shingles, and the husband lifts up his shirt, and it seriously looked like they had taken a cheese pizza and smeared it across his abdomen and to the side, because it ever only appears on one side of the body. So it was like, and I mean, it looked like I screamed when I saw it the first time, because I didn't expect that. And I know what shingles looks like, and it doesn't look like that, but that might be how it feels.
Yeah.
And I think that the visual it gave was fantastic. And then the wife's like, "Okay, I need that shot." And she gets up. I'm going to the doctor right now to get it. But it was pretty hilarious, although disgusting. You might try. It may be on. I'm sure that it'll be on YouTube somewhere.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
it was
I'll look
shocking,
that up.
shocking. So yeah, yeah. Get your shingle shot. You don't want the people I know that have had it. They have nothing but horrible stories to
Yeah.
share about it, and so I thought I had it last 2 years ago.
Mhm.
And maybe it was last. Well, no, we were still reviewing at the time. Yeah, it was. I had just this kind of burn across my underwear line on my left side from my belly button to pretty close to my spine.
Huh.
But nothing ever appeared. But as soon as that went away, I got my shingle shot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't get any of the childhood
Diseases, which is weird. How did
Yeah.
that happen?
I don't know, because it's not like I wasn't in school. But yeah, I didn't get any of them, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't have been like exposed to them or something, or
Yeah.
been
Well, it doesn't
asymptomatic
hurt.
or whatever.
It's free and it doesn't hurt. Well,
Exactly.
actually, the shot did hurt, but it doesn't hurt to get it,
Yeah.
to be safe. It was weird because I've had 3 COVID shots, never a problem, never an ache or a pain.
Nope.
But my second shingle shot, there's like a little knot, like a little ball
Mm-hmm.
for a couple days, and it was black and blue, like Sean had punched me again.
And yikes.
Huh? I meant punched me. I didn't mean again. I didn't.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, so remember Elliot Page, right?
Yeah.
Elliot has been posting photos of his post-surgery thirst trap photos and showing how jacked he is now. And that's over on Instagram. Also, Colton Underwood's Netflix series about his coming out is being released this next week, called Coming Out Colton. I just never got much into him, but anyway, and then Joy Behar was called out for telling gay people to just come out at Thanksgiving. Just come out, see what happens, is what she told her audience, and some of them said that was irresponsible.
It's not, though. What it's saying is that until we all own it, it owns us.
Mm.
Okay. And if you can't do it, then you don't do it. But maybe it's inspired a couple people to open up to their family and found out that they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
So, you don't want to be like me and have them go to the grave never knowing, do you?
Right. Yeah, that's for somebody else to answer, because when I came out, I wasn't going back in. I wasn't somebody that shoved it in your face, but until you showed me that you didn't, that you were not approving, and then everything was gay.
Well,
I had rainbows everywhere. Oh, I'm going to see Uncle George and he doesn't approve. I'm getting out my great big rainbow backpack.
Yeah, well, I don't think anybody was questioning you on that. Anyway, so.
Yeah, no, because I'm so unpassable. Anyway, actually, we were talking about the whole passing, unpassing thing with our friend Clint, and how everybody says that he is very passable, that he cloaks, and I'm like, well, I guess, but unless you're gay, then you can see through the yeah. By the way, Andrew Yang is now defending Dave Chappelle as the victim of hit job after he mocked teenagers. Chappelle is one of Yang's first celebrity endorsements as a presidential candidate. Now Yang's one of the allies standing by Chappelle. Now, I still have not seen the special, but I know that you and Brian have said that you didn't really see anything offensive in it, and yet there are it is just a freaking uproar among people.
Well, I know, but honestly, and I'm going to get in trouble here, but the trans community needs to calm the fuck down.
Oh.
I mean, now they're going. Remember last week we were talking about the guy who did the Danish girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now he said, now that I look back, I realized that it was probably not the best thing for me to do, even though he gave a fabulous performance. But then here we are again saying, oh, trans people, you can only use trans people in transgender roles.
I know. And but that's the thing, is that if you can only use trans people in trans roles and gay people in gay roles, then the flip side of that is then that's all that they should be allowed to play.
Right.
And yet that is like, oh fuck no, we should be allowed to play any role that we're able to play.
Right.
But you're saying that's To me, acting is beyond all that bullshit. You play what you can play.
And it's like, honestly, it's I mean, I love the transgender community, but I'm just saying that what they're doing to themselves is alienating themselves from allies when they shouldn't. Everyone's embracing them, and then if you look sideways, they jump on you. And I've seen it happen with quite a few celebrities, and it's like, we want to love you.
Yeah, well, most of us do.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. And you know, the thing is though, is that, I mean, the same things, I'm not disagreeing.
I know.
But then you look back to the days of, and now his name just went out of my head. Gruffy old, back in the days of the gay rights movement, and then the HIV movement, Kramer, you know, they did the same thing where they were gays and people with HIV who were in your face and alienated everybody, including those that were on their side. And they did it to gain their strength. Is this the same type of thing? Can we compare that they're building their strength by being, you know, offensive to the point where people are, you know, I mean, some of their best allies are going, I'm going to step away from you right now because you're kind of just ready to pop over anything.
Right. And that's what I'm worried about, because yeah, I mean, it's just, and the difference is between what Kramer did, which was 35 years ago, when there wasn't social media, and the only way to get noticed and heard was if the news covered you, whether newspaper or television. If they didn't cover you, no one heard about you anyway.
Okay.
Now you've got social media, you've got, you know, 85 different, you know, cooking channels. You've got, you know, there's everything's, you know, in your face all the time. And so when people are trying to help, you know, you should take it, because you made the conversion. You know, you converted these people to understand you. They're on your side. They're your ally. Where, you know, you make a very good point, but that was 35 years ago, you know, the mid 80s to the mid 90s, where there was no social media. You know, there was barely even a Lambda Center, you know, more or less, you know, a television station that's devoted to gay stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want people to get along. I'm tired of the division that keeps forming, one group after another group after another group.
Well, and you know, and that's the thing that is the kind of the double-edged sword when it comes to the transgender people playing transgender roles. I am all for that, and we need visibility. We need them to have that visibility and that, you know, experience and everything. But at the same time, if only trans people can play trans roles, then they shouldn't play anything else.
Right.
And that's the rub of what is happening there. But gay people did the same thing. Why can't gay people play gay roles? Why does it have to be, you know, Will Smith coming in and playing a gay role and then going off and getting married right after because he's so devastated that, you know, he had a gay kiss in a movie? Blah, blah, blah.
Let's just put it this way. Philadelphia would never have been made. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, would never have been made. No. Tu Wong Fu would never have been made. You know, if we want to play the game, then we get no exposure.
Right, because Hollywood is a beast unto itself, and if it's not going to make the money, it's not going to get made.
And if nobody's openly gay, who's going to play the gay roles? not
in
famous
that period,
people.
absolutely, you're
Yeah,
right.
then what happens is you've got no box office attraction.
Hmm.
So if you've got no box office attraction for a Philadelphia, you don't get Philadelphia made, because who the fuck wants to watch a gay show about some gay guy that's dying? It was because Tom Hanks was playing the role and then winning the Oscar for it. It's there's just it's
Well, I mean, look at Torch Song Trilogy, which to me is one of the best, gay movies there was, but it wasn't a huge thing back at the time. It didn't have any, it didn't have star power except for Matthew Broderick, who was still just starting out.
girl. It was a major Broadway play that won.
Well, I know, but the movie was not like this huge major
No,
success.
but the Tony, it won the Tony, and then they made the movie, and New Line made the movie, and it was like, okay, they made the movie because it just won the Tony, and they had Harvey Firestein in it, and they were able to pull in Matthew Broderick because there's a name, and and then the other guy whose name I can't remember, kind of a moderate name in Hollywood, but nothing.
Played Ed.
Yeah, nothing that gets you box office.
No.
And was Estelle Getty's? No, it was Anne Bancroft.
Yeah.
Anne Bancroft. She's the biggest celebrity in that movie,
and she was a powerhouse in it too.
Yeah. So anyway, let me talk about my week.
Okay.
So Thanksgiving, we didn't do turkey. We did ham.
Yeah.
And we got out the meats because we bought a ham, a prepared ham already, the ones they have at Costco. They're just slicing sandwich hams. So we sliced it with the meat slicer, and we had these little thin pieces of ham, just beautiful. You'd love it. Kind of like prosciutto, almost thinness, where you can pile it into a sandwich and it's got some. Anyway, so we did that, and I'd already made my dressing the night before, so that was already done. So then we were waiting to do the rest of it, and basically what happened was we got hungry, so we had ham sandwiches about 2, because we weren't going to eat until like 6 or 7, right? So then come 6 or 7, I made grilled ham and cheese instead of just a ham sandwich, and we heated up the dressing. I made some gravy. But we held off on the baked potatoes because we already had too much food. That was too much food at this time. So I said, 2 hours from now, we're going to be killing for a baked potato, which we were. And then we had a baked potato later, and that was good. And then Friday morning, I had my favorite part of Thanksgiving is when you have dressing, and I had leftover baked potato. And then I covered it all with gravy to where I didn't know what was what anymore. And it was fabulous. And and I usually fry that, but I just microwaved it this time. But it was very good, and I was happy about that. And we still have ham left, and I've got my little dressing cups, which I'm going to probably freeze today so I can take them out whenever I want them, all through the holidays.
Nice.
And so otherwise, I did want to mention that on the morning show, they just had their season finale. And what had happened was Jennifer Aniston's character was in Italy and just came back from Italy the second week of March. So she just got back. And of course, she goes to work and talks to everyone, spends close time with everyone. And then at night, she got up and fell. And so they took her to the hospital. She's got COVID. And now they're like, okay, we're going to be working remote, people. So grab your stuff. You're not coming back here until this is over with, which, changed news forever. They realized they could do things they never thought they could do. And so it ended with her they just started a streaming service the week of the shutdown. So not knowing it was going to be the shutdown. And so they had her on there doing this is what's happening to me kind of situation
Mm.
to right to the audience on streaming. So it was really good ending. We're Here, which is the wonderful show of the three drag queens traveling around the country to bring drag to the remote areas of America. And this time they were in Kona, Hawaii, which Kona is on the Big Island, which the Big Island is Hawaii. A lot of people don't know that. Hawaii is the Big Island. The entire chain is called Hawaii, but the Big Island is Hawaii. Anyway, so they went there. They found a bunch of people, and we learned about the Hawaiian culture and how, even though there's a lot of homophobia in the older people. The fact is, there's also a lot of things in their culture, in their history, dealing with like spirits which would go from male to female, and love, the love of everyone, type stuff. So it was, they found that there's a lot more openness in their history than there is in their current. And it was good. It was a good episode. It was nice seeing Kona. I haven't been there for a couple of years, so it was beautiful. And let's see, I finished a lot of things this week. Foundation, which is the Apple TV series, they've had their season finale, and it was like, okay, it was more confusing at the end of the season finale than through it was like, okay, it was starting to make sense, and then it just, they tried to go, okay, this is the last episode, we got to try to tie up some things here, or at least look like we're trying to tie them up. La Brea, I'm not sure if it was the season finale or not, but it might as well be. It's just a disaster, a hysterical disaster, kind of like Call Me Cat, but something that you can't take your eyes off of, because where are they going? What? Oh, no, you can't. They're doing it. Okay. We finished the British baking contest on Netflix.
Okay.
And it was so exciting, except on Tuesday, on Twitter, they announced who the winner was, and then Friday they dropped the final episode on Netflix. And let's see, we finished Mr. Mercedes, which was on Peacock, 3 seasons. One of the reasons why we wanted to actually watch Peacock was for Mr. Mercedes. It's a Stephen King, and it was good. It was a good one. It's not it was, I guess, during his time period where he was trying to make real monsters, like not he has no special powers, but he's a monster. Like trying to think of what the other ones, because he had quite a few where he was dealing with like when the girl's in the bed in the forest and her husband dies and the doors open and creatures start coming, animals start coming in and she's tied to the bed. But terror things like that, scary things that can actually happen. So I did find out my Holzer Files, which I'm all excited on. 2 seasons, read up on it, they canceled it, so I'm not happy about that. Let's see, was that all the ones that? Yeah, because it was just one after another. I am still working on Lock and Key. We're really liking it. He just got the key. Now, how far did you get?
I'm still episode 1, but okay. I'm not worried about spoilers. If you're going to tell me it's good, then I'll watch it.
It's good. I don't want to. I thought you were done. So since you're not, I won't say anything. We started. Let's see, Cowboy Bebop.
I have that on my list. Cool.
And it's they're bounty hunters. It has kind of a, I don't want to say Squid Game feel to it, other than there's Asian performers, but it has that Asian feel to it, which as did the cartoon and the original text.
Okay.
So but I think that's why they put it up really quick, because it's going to attract a similar audience, I think. So kind of crazy. We started Hawkeye on Disney Plus, which is Jeremy Renner's character.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And this week I did watch one night I watched Santa Claus Come to Town, Little Drummer Boy, and Charlie Brown Christmas. And I'll tell you, the Little Drummer Boy is tough to get through.
Yes. I know.
And you know, how can something 20 minutes long be tough to get through? But it was. It was.
Yes.
And you know, and it's not like I was paying attention to any of them, really. You know, I'm playing my, you know, free fall game on my iPad. And I'm like, okay, I can't, I'm just speeding through. I'm going to go to bed. Yeah. So let's see. We're watching The Great on Hulu, which is back for season 2. Really hilarious show. You know, and it's just so well written. I described it to Brian as, it's like when you go to a really nice restaurant and here's your next course, and you don't want to eat it too fast because it's so wonderful, and the script and the deliveries are amazing. I don't know if they're just coming naturally or they've got great directors, obviously great screenplay. Whoever's writing the show is doing, you know, amazing, but it's just really, really fun to watch. And this is interesting. I was reading up on the Catherine and Peter the Great and what their time period was, and he was born. Peter was born in 1675, and he lived to what I think it was 1727. I think that's what his time was, or 1720. I don't know, but he was 6'8" in the 1600s.
Wow.
Now, in the 1600s, the average person probably was about 5 foot tall.
Yeah, I was going to say, no wonder he was the Great.
Right. And you know, he's always, Peter's always talking about how big his cock is. Well, if he was 6'8", if he had an average cock for somebody who's 6'8", it's going to look giant to somebody who's 5 foot tall.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, then finally I watched Tick, Tick, Boom, which I had mentioned earlier when we were talking about Sondheim. This is the musical written by Jonathan Larson, based on Jonathan Larson's life. And if you're a fan of Rent at all, you're listening to it going, okay, that is Mimi's song from Rent. That is the closing of the first act song, the Bohemian song. Oh, that is, and that is, and that is, and but as terrible as that may sound, it was really it was like finding Easter eggs.
Oh, okay. I love that.
Like you're going, wait a minute, that sounds just like, or that character is so and so. That character is probably Angel. That's who he based Angel on, and so it's kind of comforting in a sense. And the performance by Andrew Garfield is great. The music is really, really good. It's just, I just hope people aren't shying away from it. I'm not hearing the love out there for this. Brian says he won't watch it because it's such a stupid title.
Well, everybody that I have heard that have watched it has been wowed by it.
Right.
So
yeah, it's just, I just want them to watch it though.
Yeah. Well, it's on my list, and you know that I don't necessarily just go for the contenders to watch and see what they are. So,
yeah, I mean, how can you watch Tick, Tick, Boom when you're watching another season of, what is it?
Tommy Cat?
Something.
You
don't have it. Oh, Project Runway. Yeah.
Oh,
because you got to get those and the charm stuff out of the way.
That's true. So is that your subtle way of saying you're ready for my week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so my Thanksgiving was pretty delightful. We had Tom's, for those of you who are not watching the video stream, Tom is choking it up big time. In fact, you can't even see him through all the smoke. Um, anyway, Thanksgiving was very nice. We had Mr. Larry Dean over. This is the first Thanksgiving since I was probably about 10 that I did not cook the turkey, and it was nice. I mean, it was fine. It actually made me go, well, there might be a time when I just relinquish Thanksgiving dinner altogether. But I did make our family stuffing, and unfortunately, I got it in the pan and everything. It was just wonderful, and then I tasted it and realized that I didn't season it enough. So I had to put it back in the bowl, add some seasoning, go through it again, and then when I put it back in the bowl, the problem with bready type products is they can turn back into dough. And unfortunately, this just became overworked. And so when the stuffing came out, instead of it being like nice, light, yummy, it was very, very dense. So I was disappointed in that. And but other than that, it was a lovely day. We had a nice, just little dinner, Mother, myself, and Lori Dean, and the pups, who were very attentive and happy for the day. And I watched the parade. Now, when I watched the parade, like the later balloons, like like Snoopy and Pikachu and all that, I knew all of them. But the first ones were, I didn't know who the hell some of these cartoon characters were. The Red Ranger, and not the the Power Ranger, Red Ranger, but I'm like, I don't know who the hell these people, these things are. But I did love it every time that one of them would start getting caught in the wind and look like it might blow away, that like the whole crowd would be like, oh. So that was fun. But I didn't watch the stream. I watched an independent stream of it, so I got to see it from a slightly different angle. Let's see.
Now, did you think that Mrs. Santa Claus looked like a man?
Honestly, I don't even remember Santa Claus.
You got to go back and look at it. I swear, Mrs. Claus was played by a man or is transgender.
Okay, well, that would be cool, but
because it was weird, because usually it's this rosy, chubby lady, and this looked like a guy that talked like this. Here, I make a cookie, Santa.
I'm a teamster.
Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't recognize a lot of the performers, but it was nice to see Darren Criss. That was kind of cool. But there were a lot of the performers. They had even their names. I'm like, I don't know who these people are.
Right. They're newer country artists, and unfortunately the YouTube stars who there's a lot of those. And but think of it this way: there are probably more people who didn't know who Forever Girls, Five Eva, not knowing what the hell that was all about.
That was funny, because the only reason I knew what that was is because of listening to you and Brian talk about it.
Yeah, and well, you do have Peacock.
Yes, I do.
Poor Busy was having trouble holding on to, she's like grabbing that bar because that thing came to an abrupt stop. She looked like she was going to go over the side. Hilarious.
Yeah, there was some fun moments like that. Who was the other person I was gonna? I don't know. There was another presenter or something. Oh, Foreigner. It was interesting to see Foreigner. If they had not said this is Foreigner, I wouldn't know who the hell they were.
Well, the funny thing is that Foreigner never really promoted any of their band members as separate. It's like, you not even the lead singer. I didn't know what the lead singer looked like on Foreigner, but I had a ton of their albums. And so yeah, it was interesting that they looked for anonymity and they got it in abundance.
Yes, they did.
Why are you yawning so much?
I'm just saying, I wouldn't have known who they were.
No, you're yawning.
Oh, it's that perfect temperature in here. It's like nap temperature.
I'm the one high. I should be the one yawning.
So I did watch. So I've watched up through Project Runway 10. So like within a month, I binged 10 seasons of the show. So I not only are the other ones kind of harder to get to, but I'm just taking a break. I've seen enough of them turn. The judges really got bitter over the seasons, but I think it was probably that the producers were like, you know what? You guys are being too nice. You got to make this interesting. Crush their dreams.
Don't make me bring back Michael Kors.
But
now, is it still Tim and Heidi?
At this point, yeah, because there's like 10 more seasons after this, and then there's been 3 seasons where Tim and Heidi aren't there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, these were back. I think the last one that I did was like 2013 or something like that. And I don't know. Some of the designers, I'm like, I don't know how the hell they're gonna find any designer who deserves to show out of this group. And yet they always do. They always end up having their 1 or 2 ringers that are really good. But a lot of them, I'm just like, how the hell did they must have just said, okay, we need some drama, so throw in the crazy granola girl and the guy who can't keep his mouth shut and wants to, hurt everybody's feelings. And we'll put them in the same team.
Have you been on there when I think his name was Michael, and he would always go, well, I just don't know. And Tim would go, what? Tell me what you've got. And he goes, well, I made these 6 dresses and I'm not sure which one to use. And he's like, what? And he goes, well, I made the 6 dresses, but I don't know the color. I'm just not sure which one. And the other people are like going, I'm still working on my hem for my pants. And he's got 6 fucking dresses. He's no designer.
There's been a couple of those that so far, but I don't know if I've gotten to 6 dresses, but there's been a few that have 3 or yeah, I don't know, but there's
they
always hate it when they
get for it. They hated him because it was coming too easy for him. And granted, he probably didn't have the kind of design that they hope for, but he made better dresses than most of them were making on a regular basis and in multiples.
Well, what gets me is when they're on there and they're talking about, I tried to listen to what Tim told me, but I need to be true to my own design aesthetic.
And then they're going,
I'm like, your design aesthetic sucks, and you've shown it 6 times. How are you not out?
Yeah. Well, now that they have Kristen Siriano in the Tim role, they've got this one guy who goes, we don't have to listen to outside voices. And he's going, excuse me? Okay, I'm not, do you know what the show is?
Right.
I'm the guy who's done this before. I'm the guy who knows what the judges like. I'm the one who's supposed to help you and mentor you, not the guy who's trying to make you go bad. Okay. Right. And he goes, but if you don't want me to talk to you, I can give you a lot of that.
I will look forward to getting to those.
Yeah. It's just, and it's weird because it's like, I don't understand. That's like going on Survivor and going, no, I don't want to talk to Jeff. I'll talk to somebody else, but not to Jeff.
Right.
Well, guess what? You can talk to yourself on the plane ride home.
Oh, and that's another one. Like one of the last seasons that I watched was one where this woman just like, she left. She didn't like the way that something was being treated. So like in the middle of the night, she just got up and she left. And nobody knows where the hell she was. And then after that, there was this Asian guy who was a very kind of avant-garde person. And he had to do a challenge where he had to make like a nice ball gown dress. And he didn't like it. So right after that, like he just announced that he was leaving in the middle of a show and left. Just like, fuck you people.
Well, it's like you get opportunities like this never.
Yeah.
So if you do get this opportunity and you fuck it up, you're gonna need more therapy down the line. Of course, that usually the people that do this feel like they made the right choice when they left the show that was going to make them a celebrity.
Right. And that's the thing is, if especially if you make it to like, top 5 or some 6 or something like that, you're known to where you're going to get work. People are going to want to work with you just because they know who you are now.
Well, if
Sometimes.
it's meant to be, it'll happen even if I'm not on the show. No, well, you're stupid, die.
Yeah. Yeah. Just make the pretty dress for this one and move on. Show that you can. Anyway, so I watched 2 episodes of School of Chocolate on Netflix. It's a kooky little show. Have you seen this?
Not yet.
It's thankfully the episodes are kind of short. It's really interesting, but yet it's also something that's kind of background filler. So give it a watch. It's chocolate. It's cool. And you do get to learn some interesting techniques. I watched Elves, which is a Norway production. And if you think it may take place at Christmas, but it's like a Norway Christmas where everything is bleak and horrible. So
like mine.
Yeah. I don't not that bleak. I mean,
No.
Norway people are, I love you, but you're weird. So it's easily digestible. It's 6 episodes in 20 minutes. It is dark. It is like
Wait,
suspense.
6 episodes in 20 minutes?
No, 6. Sorry,
20-minute episodes.
20-minute episodes. So
Okay.
it's basically just like a fast movie. And if you
Sure.
like skip the credits and shit, it's even shorter than that. So my question is, have you seen it yet, or are you going to see it?
I'm going to see it.
Okay.
You've already told me about it, but I was at the end of the week and I was trying to finish up stuff, so I didn't get yelled at by that other person.
Yeah, who doesn't watch anything anyway.
Right.
So then I won't go into any spoilers or anything about it, but I will tell you there was this wonderful scene. I really want to tell you about it, but okay. So you know how there's always somebody whose fault it is, and they always go, "Oh my God, it's all my fault." Well, and then there's the other characters who are like, "Oh no, honey, no, it's not your fault." And then thankfully in this one, there was this woman who said, "Yes, bitch, this is all your fault."
Oh,
It
so
is.
they had my character in it.
Yes, they're like,
Okay.
This is all your fault, and everybody that's dead is all your fault. And that's not really a spoiler, but trust me, you will be applauding that scene.
Okay.
But for the rest of it, we'll talk about it after you're done with it. But it's well done, but yeah, it's. I watched A Castle for Christmas with Brooke Shields and Carrie Elways. Elways. I always pronounce it wrong.
Yules.
I don't know. They said Toppy and the Matinee Minutia crowd just did a movie with him and they pronounced it right, and I still fuck it up. Anyway, it's good. It's a little bit better than like if you're expecting, like, it is the happy holiday find love rom-com type thing, but it is a step up from if all the holidays and all the stuff like that. It's worth the watch. If you're into these movies, you will like this one.
What's it on?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then I watched Red Notice with The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. I have to say that I just like, hey, action movie, Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, it'll be great. I really swore that they just like lined up a whole bunch of action adventure flicks from the last 10 years, took a scene from each single one of them and just pasted it together into this. It wasn't until about the last third of the movie that I actually went, oh, this is interesting. What's going on? Gal Gadot was the best thing about the movie. Her character and her acting and everything was fun. The rest of it just felt phoned in. And the worst part of the entire damn thing was that Ryan Reynolds had a shower scene and had his arms in front of himself the whole time. Are you kidding me? You have The Rock and Ryan Reynolds in a movie, and you have like one shower scene, and all you see is a tiny bit of a nipple. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. If you want something mindless to put on and have a beer and watch or what, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, but it is as cookie cutter as they come. What do you think? What did you think of it?
I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, trust me, there's no spoilers, and you already know what's coming from a movie like this. So, then I watched Merry Happy Whatever season 1, and it's 2019, I guess. So there was no follow-up seasons. The first 4 episodes, I was like, why am I watching this? And then then it got to the point where I was actually kind of interested in it, and then watched the rest of the seasons, and it was okay. It was nothing that I will go out of my way to watch again.
No.
But there were some parts of the cast, some of the actors that were in the cast, that I thought, man, if this had just some better writing and maybe a more realistic laugh track, because that was kind of odd, it could be fun. It could actually be a fun little show. And I think I texted you that I was watching it, and you wrote back and said we could write better. And I was like, oh God, yeah, we would make this. But I love that there was a gay storyline, even though it was kind of half-assed. Yeah, I wanted to like it more. I wanted more from these characters because it was actually a well-assembled show. So anyway, and then other than that, the only other thing was that I sent out a Thanksgiving Day tweet, and the woman who played Grams on Charmed, who I absolutely adore. She's an amazing actress, and she liked my tweet, so that was nice. So that was basically my week. Oh, I totally forgot. That's right. I went to the Castro. I on Saturday, our friend Clint and I went down to the Castro, and we had a lovely, fun time walking around and shopping and running into people that we knew, and just being gay and being happy. And they no longer let you be nude there, but they do let you be nude as long as you have like a cock sock over that bit. So there were a number of the guys walking around naked with just like a sock over it. But it was just nice to be gay. And we were there on the anniversary of the day that Harvey Milk had been assassinated. And we ate at Harvey's, a restaurant named after him. So it was just a very, very pleasant little time. The trip itself was a little wonky, but that was nice. And we got to go over the Golden Gate Bridge, which I haven't done for about 15 years. So that was nice too. Okay. We want to remind you to be loud, be proud, be too much, and to be you. Fat Marker wants those of us who have been told that we are too much of something to turn those negatives into positives. And you can do that by going over to fatmarkerclothing.com and using the code FMWildChub to get 20% off anything over there on that amazing website. And get your orders in, because with everything going on with the postal service and everything else, you want to get your order in now. So that aside, I guess it's time to jump into advice. We've got a right booby dazzler here. Dear Prudence. Oh, prudenceslate.com. Dear Prudy, go check them out. Support them. Get a subscription. I am a person who has a myriad of physical issues, starting with migraine, vertigo, thyroiditis, mild OCD, ASD. Okay, that's something I haven't heard of before. And the occasional aches and pains that come along with age. I am not fit as I would like to be, but I cycle 5 days a week and do plenty of other chores around the house, all while managing our toddler and my own work. Good God, I'm tired just hearing about it. None of this seems to be enough for my husband, however, who I have been married to for over 5 years. He is a gym freak and he's borderline hypochondriac, although he refuses to acknowledge it. He is obviously muscular and fit and takes on at least 40% of the parenting duties. My issue is this. He is constantly telling me I need to make time to get fitter, i.e., reduce weight. I have argued with him, tried explaining to him how slow my metabolism is, and has been through without my life, especially with my thyroid medication. I have begged him to stop hounding me. I have yelled at him. I have tried everything under the sun, including going to couples therapy for some unresolved grief issues. Nothing has helped. I feel like I am being judged ridiculously with no merit and given absolutely no appreciation whatsoever for the effort I constantly put in. Yes, pregnancy has changed my body and my weight, but I only went up 15 pounds. He makes it seem like I'm a beached whale. He looks at me disapprovingly when I am undressing and asks, is that fat or excess skin from the pregnancy? Shut up, Brian. I am defeated. And, you are high. You are so high.
No, I'm not that high.
I was trying to blame something. Yes. Okay. I am defeated and hopelessly lost within myself. I have my own issues that I am tackling every minute of the day. And I don't know how to handle this too. If I say I'm getting a headache, his face completely changes and he immediately starts whining like a kid. When will you ever not have a pain in your body? Every day it's something or other with you. I have tried to tell him I am human and every human has pain, but that's not enough. He, on the other hand, will go to the doctor if he has a zit on his face, lest it be a cancerous tumor. Help me explain to him one more time, or at least help me deal with this so that I can live with him without letting it get the better of me. Divorce or separation is not an option because I still do love him. He is an excellent father, and dare I say, a very responsible and loving person in general, except for this one issue. We almost never argue about anything else, and he is very attentive to all my other needs. Weight loss is like kryptonite to him.
No, I think weight loss is kryptonite to her.
Yeah.
And, it's like, without giving any options other than, how do I make this work? Because you can't do that. You can't take this off the table. Can't take this off the table. Don't take this off the table. And that can't change. So what do I do? It's like, I'd say lose some weight or lose the husband.
Well, she's trying to lose. I think that she's probably trying to lose weight, but
no,
it doesn't get to that point. But 15 pounds, suck it.
Yeah.
All I'm seeing here is wait till the kid's old enough and then divorce him. Get the fuck out.
Well, I don't even.
I know you don't want to, but the fact is, he's not either that or every time he brings up something about weight, turn it around and say, "Oh my gosh, what is that growth on your back?" And freak him the fuck out. Get him.
I don't know. I don't believe that it's as awful as she makes it out to be. Number one.
Well, it's going to be blown up in her own head, of course. But at the same time, I know somebody who whose husband divorced them. Basically, when they got married, said, "If you ever gain weight, I'm out." And after the kid, she gained weight, and he left her with the kid.
Well, she knew ahead of time. But what I'm saying is that here she is complaining about, oh my God, I've got a headache. Is it a migraine? It will be, I'm sure. This person. This is the person that can't go through the day without having some. I mean, I've got ailments, but it's not it's that I don't have to share them all day long. And I think she's just oversharing. And I don't, and the weight thing is, a lot of people, you know how they are, they think if you poke people about their weight, they'll want to lose weight. Now we know that's not true.
You want to beat the crap out of them.
Right. But I'm sorry, there's a big difference between 15 pounds and 300 pounds.
Stop. Now I feel attacked. Oh, why can't you leave me alone?
Well, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so fat. I put on 5 pounds. I'm going to cut you.
Yeah, but apparently
I'll cut that 5 pounds right off you right now.
I'm surprised he doesn't make her stand on a scale daily.
Oh, no. Are you sure you didn't write this?
Ah!
Sounds like
my husband. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, you can make
worried about that. Plus, you know damn well any husband that I have would be all like, "Oh my God, you lost 5 pounds! Don't do this." Anyway, moving on. So
but be more active. Be more active, but don't lose the weight. Put on more weight, but stay active, because I don't want to, I don't want you in a wheelchair.
I don't have any advice for her except to get over it. I mean, she screamed and yelled and cried and everything else. I mean, you're not going to leave him. At some point,
it's not just that. You. It's just, I mean, she's got a list of ailments that she's, migraines, vertigo, what is it? Thyroiditis, OCD, ASD, aches and pains. It's like, oh my God, is this the list you go through every day? Sounds like it.
No.
I'm saying that this, she may have driven him to be that guy that he is now.
Well, just read what Dear Prudie has to say.
Dear Fat as Hell.
You say divorce or separation is not an option because you still do love him. And well, the fact that you've already decided that you don't deserve better is probably part of why he refuses to treat you better. That and the fact that he is a vicious, insensible, hateful, fat-phobic monster. Oh,
wow.
Dear Prudie, who are you? Replace the time you spent in couples therapy with individual therapy. Specifically, look for someone who advertises that they're familiar with the concept of health at every size. You can tell yourself it's to help you figure out how to be happier in this relationship if that's what it takes to get you started. But I hope you ultimately develop enough perspective and respect for yourself that you no longer find it appealing to be married to someone who intentionally hurts you. Ooh, Prudie threw down.
No, Prudie made assumptions.
Well, that's all you can do. You have to take the letter at face value.
I understand what you're saying, but I almost feel like this is I don't believe her.
Well,
I don't
we
believe
both
the letter
know
writer.
those people on both sides of that.
Yeah, but I also there's okay.
Yeah. All right, next up. Hey Chubs, what is the oldest age of all your friends?
Well, we have the same one.
Yeah, I would say 73.
Yeah, is that how old he is now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And imagine my father was the same age.
Oh,
the incredible difference.
Hey, I remember going over to your house wearing the same thing your father had on.
Oh, that's sweet. Well, you looked better. You rocked it better.
Oh, well, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because mine didn't have vomit on it. Or something.
He could have. Just wait long enough.
No, not me. I didn't have vomit on mine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd washed my shirt. But other than that, yeah.
Hey Chubs, what foreign country would you like to spend Christmas week in? I would go for probably England, but that's just because they're kind of the closest to ours, except for maybe Canada.
Well, yeah, that way you could have a Dickens Christmas.
Oh, Dickens Christmas, sir. I had enough Dickens Christmas growing up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would probably go Germany.
Oh, oh man, the what is it? The outside like Christmas fairs and
Oh yeah,
street fairs and stuff. Oh, so beautiful.
yeah, they're on PBS.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is a local guy or if it's national, because you can never tell with these things. But they have a guy that um, in the past, I don't know if he's done it recently, probably not with COVID, but he had gone to different towns all across Europe for their Christmas fairs.
Was it Rick Steves?
Probably,
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah. I mean, I would, I'd love that, but the thing is with the holidays, well, and being on, let's say, vacation, the
Mhm.
problem with vacation is that part of the holidays is watching your favorite shows,
Mhm.
eating, shit you shouldn't be eating, while
Yes.
watching your favorite, movies,
Yeah.
and spending time with family. So running off to, Germany or England for a week while, the house sits quiet with your tree not on, and
Yeah.
it almost sounds kind of sad.
So I agree,
Yeah.
but some people are like, "Oh, we're going skiing over Christmas."
Yeah. Well, and people go to Hawaii over Christmas.
That's just wrong. Anyway, all right. Trivia question for you, sir. What was the world's largest recorded Christmas tree?
I'd say, so I'm expecting a Christmas tree means it's been cut.
Yes.
So I would probably go 220 feet.
Wow. Well, I, sir, would say that maybe you looked it up somehow because that was pretty almost spot on. So the world's tallest cut Christmas tree was 67.36 meters, which is 221 feet, which was a Douglas fir erected and decorated in Northgate Shopping Center, Seattle, Washington, USA, in December 1950.
How can I look it up? You don't even have it written down.
You might find where I have it written down.
Okay.
I'm just saying, you could always have Googled it. Anyway, but no, that was a great guess because that was like
Well, I've
1
been
foot
watching a
off.
lot of them, and they've been like 170,
Uh,
180 feet. But they haven't, no one said, well, these are the largest ever. So I'm like,
yeah.
okay, it has to be more than that. But, if it's cut, it can't be much,
Mhm.
so that's
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of my thinking
Strategy.
process.
Oh, that's a
Obviously, I'm
good guess.
cheating.
All right. Well, what's in your lunchbox? Mr. Phoenix Dave wrote in and said something. For dinner last weekend, hubby made baked chicken in barbecue sauce, a vegetable medley, potatoes, green and red bell peppers, and onions soaked in vegetable oil and seasonings, then baked, and pinto beans. I forgot to get a picture of the dish as served up, but these are his Facebook photos. And you can see some beautiful, the chicken looks really good.
Oh God, yes. I mean, that's fantastic. The chicken. I thought it was just the beans. I'm like, really? You had that whole meal and all I get is beans? Oh, okay, there
Yeah,
it is. Okay.
those vegetables look really yummy too.
Yeah, yeah. Nice, nice, nice. And
Oh,
I'm not a big, oh, I'm sorry, but green beans
yeah,
taste
see, it's the pinto beans for me that are
taste the gray stuff. It's delicious. I don't think so.
not.
And then pumpkin pie. So you're losing me already. You're losing me.
Well,
But
since
what's is it a breakfast sandwich? That looks like
uh,
bacon and grits. That
oh,
looks
so
yummy.
you're looking at the down below photos. So those are since it was mainly just Scott and myself, aside from my elderly mother, we did Cracker Barrel
Oh,
for Thanksgiving to go drive through. It included turkey dressing, gravy, sweet potato casserole, green beans, dinner roll, and pumpkin pie, all for $12 each. Only $12. Not bad, but not the best. Hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving. So the bottom part there is part of that, and then the uh, photo above that with the turkey and the dressing. I think that's dressing. Yeah, that's part of that as well.
What about the bacon sandwich?
Is that a bacon sardi? Huh, that does look pretty, well, that must be like potato or something.
Well, there's egg, and the yellow is probably cheese.
Mm.
So it's bacon, egg, and cheese on what looks to be a white bread, and
Oh,
served with a side
okay,
of grits.
gotcha. So there's a little bit more. Here we go. Lunch today at Frank's Restaurant is what that is, with the rest of the MCC group. A bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich with grits. The bacon was extra crispy, really a good meal. So that's what that one is.
That looks good.
Yeah.
It's, I wished we had more grits here on the West Coast, because we just, you have to go to a Southern restaurant to get grits.
To get really good grits.
Well,
Here.
grits
Now,
in general. Who offers grits?
You're right.
Yeah.
I know that now, not a restaurant, but Mr. Lurie Dean, he makes grits with, what was it that he adds to it?
Cheese.
Now I'm forgetting. Well, yes, cheese, but also bacon or sausage. That's what it is. He adds sausage to it, and it just comes out. And then he makes it so that when it cools down a little bit, you can just slice it and then put it in the, it's so good. Very, very yummy. You know what else is yummy, or at least looks yummy, is your stuffing cupcakes, which are next up with what's in your lunchbox.
Yeah, they're not cupcakes, but what they are, they're made in a cupcake, pan. And the reason I did that was because I knew Sean would only have one for the whole time. For his mother has convinced him through years of I don't know what, that bread is bad. I know. So what I did was I made, and by the way, they were fabulous. And what was really nice about the cupcakes, well, okay, so basically I let them cool. I popped them out, put them in a bag, Ziploc bag. They went into the refrigerator. Now I can pull them out one at a time. I can, it almost looks like the Queen's cutting your hair, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can heat them up one at a time. In the microwave, you can do it in the air fryer. And then get a little gravy, and it's there whenever you want it. But what made, I think, them so much better this year was I got fresh herbs out of the garden. I had thyme and sage that, when it was cooking, at one point, Sean looked over and goes, "Oh my God, this smells like Thanksgiving."
Nice.
And there was no turkey involved. This was, I used chicken broth and the onions and all the herbs and spices that go with it. But yeah, they turned out probably the best dressings I've made in a long time.
That's awesome. They look really good. They look light and with a beautiful crust on them.
Oh, and that's the other thing. Lots of crust action because there's more surface space, and it goes into a gallon Ziploc bag. So boom, there it is. And you know what I don't have? A 9x13 in my refrigerator for a week.
Yeah.
Where the paper is popping off of it, or the aluminum foil doesn't quite fit anymore. And so I really I'll be doing this again. So
excellent. I love that. I really want to do that.
You know what I think is so funny about Lawrence, and his food, is that I'm sure it's good, but I can tell that you haven't had anybody around that knew how to make food. I think you guys, you made food, but now but now you got somebody who cooks.
Right. And that's true, because when I was taught to cook from a young age, but I was taught like the staples. I know how to prepare meals, basic,
Right.
And then anything that I've learned on top of that has been from experimenting, watching TV shows or something like that, or picking up little tips here and there. But I am a basic cook. I am not, I don't experiment and do things like he does.
Well, it's funny because you're talking about the grits cooled and then he sliced it.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was doing that. She did that for years. But what she'd do is she'd make the grits, slice them. She would flour them and then fry them into little, they were like little candy bar sizes. Mm-hmm. And then you'd serve them with, when they got crispy, you served them with butter. Oh my God. And the insides are still soft and the outsides are crispy. And
that sounds great.
Oh God, I'm so fat. Fat as hell. Fat as hell.
Yes. All right. Let's see here. Well, currently LGBTQ people of color in America have a disproportionately high rate of new HIV infections. Golden Rule Services of Sacramento, along with want you to know about an important tool in preventing you from contracting HIV. Pre-exposure prophylaxis, aka PrEP, is a medication proven to be 99% effective in preventing HIV infection. To learn more about PrEP, call your local sexual health clinic. To find out more about Golden Rule Services, visit sacgrs.org. Wow, you held that in for a while. There was just this cloud of white. I couldn't see Tom at all. So anyway, send us an email at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Leave us a comment at chubsgonewild.com. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/chubsgonewild. Please consider becoming a patron of the show over patreon.com/Matt Burlingame. Find Tom's movie and TV reviews at swannerandjudd.com. Find their podcast in iTunes or on iHeartRadio. Find out more about my books over at justkisstheguy.com and check out my other podcast at biggaysexshow.com. And watch videos of us over at YouTube. Just go over and search Chubs Gone Wild. And give us a call at
408 69 Chubs.
Yes.
Damn it. Sorry.
See, that's why you can't do drugs when you do shows.
Well, but I find that I hate you less after I get stoned.
Oh, that's nice. It's always
I know.
Co-host says I
know, even though you don't ever want to spend time with me.
Oh, now see, that's just not true. That's just not true. Because if you had people over to your house or whatever, I would be happy to come over and hang out.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I would.
Because I'm not inviting Clint.
Oh, well.
Oh,
he's not driving. Yeah. So anyway, that's our show. Thank you for joining us. And we're going to be having much more holiday fun coming up because Christmas is coming up. We're going to be talking about all our tree decorations and everything else. Oh.
Are you gonna?
Oh no! I tried to mute, but it didn't. Sorry, people. Anyway, all right. Thank you for joining us, and we will catch you next time.
Happy
Bye.
420.